Reaperman here with Felix Jr. This originally was a bit of promotional material for a movie called Wreck-It Ralph, and it was put out as a flash game and kind of a pre-aged arcade game. This, however, is the Sega Genesis port of it, and I've recently picked up a reproduction copy of it at one of those sites you're not supposed to visit or buy things from. Whatever. It's kind of nice that it actually made it out to those sites, though, because they've made it available very affordably, which I think is kind of neat. So it starts with the character here. I guess his name's Ralph. I actually haven't seen the movie this is based on, and this is kind of a cutscene of his Genesis and what makes him want to wreck this building here. It's completely unskippable, and it's kind of annoyingly long. So I suspect that somewhere in the movie there is a joke about unskippable cutscenes. At least that's my thought on it. So here they are constructing the building over where he had his stump, and now he's going to be super upset. These very unhappy people have moved in, and he's going to break all of their windows and only their windows. Nice little bit of voice sampling. As you can see, this is a very charming looking game. It's done very much in the style of the early Nintendo arcade games, kind of your kind of Popeye and Donkey Kong era. The gameplay, though, is just a little bit easy. All you do is move from side to side. At the start, it's incredibly easy, but it gets a little trickier later on as it gets to be a bit more risk-rewardy with the maze that they've given you. But all you do is you move kind of around and fix all of these windows. It almost feels like the first few levels shouldn't really actually be in the game. Because here there's nothing to really stop me from moving around to any of the windows. At least on the second level here, we start to get a couple of flower planters. And with those hanging out there, I apparently can't jump up the window above. Now you may notice that there is a pie that shows up kind of intermittently. There's one. And this pie is kind of tricky to grab. It grants a very short, very unpredictable invincibility. And it grants apparently no points, which is kind of a little weak there. Now we're getting quite complex. There's a window with shutters on it, so I can't move side to side into it. I have to move into it from below. And also its neighbor over here because it's on the corner. Now, as near as I've seen, these levels aren't at all random. They're kind of scripted. So you can kind of predict the maze as it's going to be. It's not as if it's randomly picking 3 windows to give obstacles to. The maze is getting a little trickier. Ooh. And then coming up, I think starting on the next level, the ducks will show up, and there's, horizontally flying birds that you have to worry about along with the bricks, I guess, coming down from Ralph. Ooh, hi. Anyway, this is just a nice, simple little game, and I'm glad it's so available and so common. And I like that it plays very quickly, but it seems like it's perhaps just a little too easy and a little too simplistic for this style of game. Now the buildings are 5 levels tall, or 5 stages tall. I think we may have just finished stage 5. Yes. So now there's another unskippable cutscene of the same unhappy people throwing him off the building. And it's starting all over again. So as you can see, the levels have gotten just a little bit more complicated. I don't believe they get any faster, though. That's the usual, right? Faster and more complex. A ways to go here.
I can fix it.
So as you can see, I'm playing this on my big old mass super stick from back in the day. This game only utilizes one button. Well, actually, A, B, and C all do the same thing, very similar to Sonic, and that's just him swinging his hammer and repairing windows. Ooh. So unlike a lot of games, this game never really gets to feeling hard before it gets feeling unfair. So it looks very much like a classic, for example, Nintendo arcade game, but it doesn't really have the gameplay tuned nearly as well. You can mitigate your risk in a lot of these scenarios, but there's a lot of times where it just feels like there's no way out. Okay. And was that 3? I think that was stage 3. Oh, stage 4. This is nasty. Yes, it feels like this is where I am about to lose all my lives. Oops. Played that one poorly. Anyway, that was a look, a little bit of show and tell of this game I picked up, Wreck-It Ralph. Or sorry, Fix-It Felix Jr., I guess.